Good morning, viewers. Once again, I, Mr. Y.S. Kanade, will continue the discussion on a lecture series of concrete technology. Under that, Unit 1, that is cement, we have started with. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about manufacturing process of cement. Now, we will see about chemical composition of cement. So basically, there are two types of compounds which are present in the cement. The first one, major compounds, and the second one, minor compounds. The major compounds are those compounds which are present in a larger amount. Their percentage in a cement is high as compared to minor one. So they are lime, silica, alumina and gypsum. So lime, that is calcium oxide, is present about 60 to 70%, and silica, that is SiO2, is present around 70 to 25%, and alumina and gypsum, that is Al2O3 and calcium sulfate, is present about 7 to 8% and 2 to 3% respectively. So these are the major compounds, and some of the minor compounds are also present in the cement. They are magnesium oxide, sulfur trioxide, sodium oxide, potassium oxide. Their percentage is quite less, even less than 4%. So these both compounds will fulfill the complete chemical composition of cement. Both major and minor compounds are present in the form of oxides. Let us know more about very important term related to cement and cement work, that is hydration of cement. The definition of hydration is, it is exothermic chemical reaction which takes place when water is added to cement, which gives rise to cement paste, and large heat is evolved, about 120 calorie per gram. Such reaction is called as hydration of cement. Yes, when we add water to cement, it will give us cement paste and simultaneous evaluation of heat. The rate of heat evaluation is about 120 calorie per gram. So you can imagine that how large heat of evaluation is evolved. From one time meal of any one person, we get energy about 90 to 100 calorie. When it is in excess in manner, it may be around 130 to 140 calorie. But here for 1 gram of cement, 120 calorie, such type of high heat energy is evolved. And for construction work, concrete work, cement is used in a large manner. For mass concreting, about thousands of kg cement is used, and you can imagine how the heat of hydration will evolve in a large manner. So you can remember, hydration of cement is the reaction between cement and water which gives rise cement paste and heat. Here calcium and silicate oxide get reacted with H2O, which result in the hydrated calcium and silicate oxide, and along with calcium hydroxide. Now we'll see what are the Boggs compounds. Bogg, the scientist who invented these four compounds, are generally present in the cement paste after hydration of cement. Hence, Boggs compounds are the chemical compounds which are formed due to hydration of cement, which is known as Boggs compounds. So here there are four different Boggs compounds are present. First one, tricalcium silicate, that is 3CaOSiO2, which is abbreviated as C3S, which is present in about 21 to 45%. Then dicalcium silicate, that is C2S, present about 25 to 50%. Third, tricalcium aluminate, that is C3A, present about 5 to 11%. And in the cement paste, C4AF, that is tetracalcium aluminoferrite, is present about 9 to 14%. You will find that Boggs invented these compounds after conducting several experiments, and he gave such type of percentage of these compounds. We will find that there is a major amount of C3S and C2S is about present, about 80 to 90% amount is present of these two compounds, and very few amount of C3A and C4AF is present. So one can remember the Boggs compounds and their percentage for exam point of view. Let us see what are the different properties of Boggs compounds, how they play their vital role in the cement work. After conducting several experiments by Boggs, he gave the behavior of various Boggs compounds for development of strength. Here in this graph of number of days versus compressive strength, we will find that C3S and C2S both gives us maximum strength, even number of days curing. But even after number of days curing, C3A and C4A are not giving sufficient strength to the cement. So one can remember the role of C2S and C3S to develop the strength to the cement, whereas C3A and C4A are responsible for setting time of the cement. Let us know more about these role of Boggs compounds in detail. Here, tricalcium silicate has faster rate of hydration reaction, which gives medium heat of hydration about 120 calorie per gram. And due to C3S, cement gets rapid strength, that is of 7 days, which is nothing but early strength to the cement is possible due to C3S. And due to this C3S, cement possesses less or low resistance to the chemical attack. Secondly, for C2S, the rate of hydration is slower, heat of hydration is also lesser, but strength development, it is slower, but ultimately the final strength or ultimate strength is achieved to the cement due to dicalcium silicate, but it has moderate resistance to chemical attack. The third one, tricalcium aluminate, that is C3A, has instantaneous rate of reaction. Instantaneous means the rate of reaction is high at a particular instant. Similarly, heat of hydration due to C3A is very high, about 200 calorie per gram. And the strength development due to C3A is very rapid, but only for 1 day, up to 1 day only. And it has low resistance of chemical attack. Finally, for C4AF, the rate of reaction is very high, very fast. It has moderate or medium heat of hydration. But again, similar to C3A, the strength development is only for 1 day. But this, due to C4AF in the particular cement will possess high resistance to the chemical attack. So this was all about role of Boggs compounds of cement. Let us see what is setting of cement. It is the process of gaining strength to cement. It is nothing but setting, which is also known as hardening of cement. So it starts with hydration of cement and completes at specific period of time. As soon as we add water to cement, is nothing but hydration of cement is started, and that hydration will start to give setting to the cement or hardening to the cement, but that hardening will complete after certain specific period of time. So in that, the time required for initial hardening of cement is considered as initial setting time of cement. Yes, initial hardening means when cement is unsupported, it can resist, it can acquire a particular shape without any support. That sufficient hardening is possible only after initial hardening, and that depends upon initial setting time of particular cement which is used for construction. Similarly, the another time which is required for complete hardening of cement, so is nothing but final setting time of cement. So it may be after certain hours the cement will acquire sufficient strength, sufficient hardening, or you can say complete hardening. That is possible only after final setting time of cement. In the upcoming lectures, we will see in detail what is initial and final setting time, its significance, and the procedure to determine initial and final setting time of cement in detail. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.